Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another Champions of the Continent video. In today's video, I wanted to cover whether or not Octopath Traveler COTC is at risk of shutting down anytime soon. And the reason why I'm creating this video is because a lot of us saw that the Final Fantasy VII First Soldier game is going to be closing in January, which is, going to be barely over a year that the game lasted. And so I think a lot of people have been nervous after seeing that, especially because it's from Square Enix. We all know that Record Keeper closed, but it did have an 8-year run, so I wouldn't be surprised if there is some concern in the community, especially after the Bravely Default fiasco. The game kind of releases content slowly, we don't really get much rubies. So let's cover why I think that COTC is in a healthy state, and I personally am not concerned about the game closing anytime soon. So these first screenshots that I have compiled, 3 games are from Square Enix itself, and then Last Claudia is by whatever Adis Inc. is. But all of these games have a healthy amount of ratings, they have a healthy score. And keep in mind, Octopath has 6.7k ratings and has only been out for 3 months. And DFFOO, which has been out for 4 years, a little over 4 years, has that 4.7k ratings, and that game is doing very well, super healthy. And considering that game is extremely generous and free to play, it's doing very, very well. Wodev is going to be a game that will last until the end of time. It's extremely popular. It's got the Editor's Choice Award. And then Last Claudia, I personally don't know anybody who plays the game. I know it has a healthy population because this is a global version. It's very anime-y, so I know a lot of people do play it, but just like in my circle, I don't know anyone for sure. But the reason why I think that the ratings matter is because one person does a rating, it's going to add and tally up with this. And in my opinion, I feel like for every person who actually rates a game, I feel like there's like 30-40 people who don't leave a rating. And that's just my hypothesis, my theory about it. I have no clue if that's true or not, but I think that these numbers are good indicators about how many people are playing, how many people are sticking around with the game, and I guess its level of popularity. And not to mention, COTC is actually on the chart. Number 142, it's not the best, but considering how many role-playing games are out there on mobile, I think that's pretty good, especially for being 3 months that it's only been released. All right, now let's take a look at the Google Play rating. It is lower, it's 3.4, but it does have that 21.7k reviews. I'm not surprised by that because I think Google Play, I don't use an emulator, but I think Google Play is the one that's actually user-friendly. And I think that review rating is because in Discord, they were saying after the Bravely Default fiasco last week with Adele, people went and review bombed it. And I'm sure that had a really big influence on Square because people see that rating and they're like, oh no, that's a bad game, I'm not gonna play. But hopefully after, they kind of corrected what they did, we move forward with it, that score will kind of go back up. And for anyone watching this who did give a poor score, just remember that if you like this game and you want it to last, you want to give it a higher score so that people download it, people are going to end up paying for things, and the game is just going to have a longer longevity. But also on the same hand too, I can understand, if you're pissed at the game and you want to give it a low rating. I don't know, I want the game to last, so I would just like to see, a higher rating across all the platforms that the game is on. All right, so now for the data. This is pulled from Sensor Tower, and from my understanding, what this does is it compiles all the apps that are on Google Play and the App Store for Apple, and it's showing, the grossing of how the game is doing, how it is on the chart compared to other games. And so for this one, this is from the App Store. And for today, you can see that for iPad, it's the number 41 grossing. For iPhone, it's the number 60 grossing. We did have a character drop today, so of course it's going to be higher sales. But you can see from the chart, the lines that are going across that, it's still up there. It's been up there for, I think it goes, all the way back to maybe mid or beginning September. So you can see that the game is consistently doing well, especially for the past, 30 days. And I think, once again, that's a really good indicator that the game is getting those financials and it's in a healthy state, and that it's going to continue to do well. And as of right now, there really isn't any risk in the foreseeable future that the game is going to end up shutting down. All right, and now this is for Google Play, which has a much different situation. You can see the top grossing game and top grossing overall. It does dip a bit, but maybe I'm wrong about this, but I feel like, again, with those emulators, there's so many more people playing, there are so many less people who are paying for the game, that it's just naturally going to be lower. But for today, for grossing and free, that it is higher up on the list, especially that grossing number 34. And again, today we did have an event release, so of course more people are paying. But when events release and then the top grossing is the number 34 compared to all the other apps, you know, in role playing that are going on that people are spending money for, I think that's pretty good. And then again, you can see those two lines up there are being consistent with being really high at the top. So this to me, once again, says that the game is doing really well for the past 30 days, and I wouldn't be surprised if it continues to stay that way for the next 30 days. All right, so now I want to compare how COTC is doing to Another Eden. Now, if you have played both games, you know that these games are extremely similar. They're both single player JRPGs. I mean, they've got the same boards, the banners, they do collaborations that are permanent besides the characters that you pull on. Just a very similar game, and it's been out for, I think Global's been out for 4 years or a little over 4 years. It's got the 22K rating, so it's got, you know, people are throwing out their ratings on it, and it's a good game. It's very similar to COTC in a lot of ways, so I can see why. And so I just put this up there because they are so similar. They're the single player JRPGs. Another Eden is not going anywhere anytime soon, and I do see the same for COTC as well. And then the financials with Another Eden. This is from the App Store, top grossing game, role playing, number 142, but it's still steady up there. And like I said, this game is older, so I can see why it would be number 142, but 142 isn't bad considering it, you know, this is all the role playing games that are on the App Store. Alright, so that's just some visual data that I wanted to provide to kind of show why I think that COTC is doing well and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. I think the game is in a really healthy state. I know there was like a big screw up last week, but Square did remedy it, and I think they did a really good job at fixing the problem and all of the feedback that was given to them with the Adele situation. And again, this is not official because, like I said, I don't know the back end of things on the developer side, so I have no clue. This all may be very different compared to what's going on the back end, but my ultimate answer is that Octopath is doing well, it's not going anywhere anytime soon, and it's going to continue to grow and evolve. So let me know down below, what do you guys think? Are you concerned about the future of the game? Are you on the same page as me? You think it's healthy and it's not really going anywhere? I'm really curious to hear your thoughts. Last thing I want to say, if you've made it to the end of the video, next Wednesday, October 19th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, I'm going to be doing a live stream for my Anya's polls, and I'm going to announce the 2 winners from my 2,000 subscriber giveaways. So I hope to see you all there. It's going to be like a chill and chat session. I'm going to do my polls. It's going to be a really good time. So thank you all again for watching. I really appreciate it as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.